Hello guys, I hope all of you are doing fine. In this video, we will be discussing the concept of class. As we know that class is a clear example of encapsulation, and encapsulation is one of the important concepts of object-oriented programming that actually, if you see in various books and internet resources, it is referred as the wrapping up of data members and member functions into a single unit. Now, if it is a single unit, it means a single user defined data type, a single user defined data type that basically is a collection of data members. Data members means different data types, and member functions means any function they are performing, means whatever functions you have you have done during your C++ or C programs. So we created some certain functions. In functions we access certain values, and then there is a function definition in place, and then there is function call. So those are the member functions. They are the part of those classes. Now, the best example of encapsulation or classes I can quote is if you take the class of student. So obviously, whenever you are going to create any kind of class, so there is a syntax that we basically follow. The syntax is class. It's a keyword, obviously, and we have to put a name of the class. If we put a name of the class as student, class starts and it ends, and there is a semicolon in place. So this is one syntax. And guys, one thing, class is actually known as user defined data type. It means your student will become a data type, and it is a data type of, obviously it is a data type of your object, whatever you are going to create. So after class is declared, then you have a main function, and main function you have to declare this student object. So object means this is a variable of your class name, and then you can access all the values. So this is something which is actually a syntax of if I talk about the syntax of class. Right. So what is the basic thing that you need to understand in this? So in understanding the same thing, we have hash include iostream.h, conio.h. The moment you create a class, you have to give a class name, right? Then now the point is, in C++, one thing is certain: if you don't give any access specifier, by default class is treated as private. Right? So if I'm writing int space a, this is something which is a part of class. So if I'm talking about student, so we have a roll number, int roll number, right? Student can have float CGPA, right? And again, the student characteristics will be roll number, registration number, CGPA, their address. So I can take the character address. So guys, address, if I take it in 50, so maximum 50 characters can be taken in this address. Now the important point is that we have written these data types, and these are all different data types altogether. Yes, they are actually different data types. Now I want to basically give them values. Now the important point is, if I have to give them values, it means I need to access them. For accessing data members, we have these are data types, and these are also known as data members. If I want to use them, I always use the concept of member functions. If I want to use them, so member functions, since I want to access them properly, I'll use a keyword which is known as public. I'll let you know why I'm using this public. Then I'm basically taking these values. Let's say I want to just get the values. I will write the function of void get, and this is a function, guys. This is a function definition. We are defining the function before it is called. So again, above the function call also. So we are taking the value of a roll number, we are taking the value of CGP, and we are taking the value of address. So we have taken three values. Obviously, if I want to display them, I will write void display, and I'll just display them certain particular values, role, CGPA, and address. Right now, this is I have done my part, and I am closing this class and this semicolon. So this is a simple creation of class where you have taken a student as a name of the class, and student has various properties. Student has a roll number, CGPA, and address. So what are the functions to be performed by students? Obviously, students, we will be asking whatever their marks are, whatever their roll number is, and whatever their address is, and we are displaying those values. Now, after the class is written, we basically go to our main function. In main, I want to basically allocate memory to student. So how will I allocate memory? You just need to declare an object. So you're writing student. Student is class name, and it is now your user defined data type of OBJ. Now, why I have written public keyword in void get and void display? Because I am accessing anything of class outside the class. So outside the class, private, because of the property of private access specifiers, they cannot be accessed outside the class. So it's better you use the keyword public to make them accessible. So it is not possible that I can use roll number, CGPA, address. Why? Because by default, they are private. I cannot access them. But whatever I have written in public, I can access them. But there is a syntax for accessing. So syntax for accessing is object name dot whatever your function name is. So you are actually calling them. So I can easily write obj.get. It will take all the values, and I am writing obj.put. It will or obj.display. I have written a function display. It will display all the values, whatever you have taken. So again, the important thing in this video you need to remember is, the first important thing is class name is a data type, and it is a data type of what? It is a data type of object. Whatever object you have declared. In this example, I have declared the object name was OBJ. Second important part in this thing, memory allocation. Guys, memory allocation is always memory allocation to class. It only happens when you declare an object. It means whenever you use the syntax of student followed by OBJ, there we basically get the memory allocation of entire class. So what is the memory allocation of entire class? Means a roll number. For example, guys, integer, float, character, all are now compiler dependent, whatever compiler you're using. But if let's say we are going with traditional method, integer is of 2 bytes, float is of 4 bytes, 2 plus 4, 6, and we have used 50 characters. So character is of 1 byte. We are using 50 because we are using the address of 50 characters. So 50 plus 2 becomes 52 plus 4 becomes 56. So total 56 memory is allocated to this particular object. And over here, the important point was class name is acting as a user defined data type, and it is a data type of object, which is OBJ. Now it means your object data type is class name, right? And it is a user defined data type because we have defined it by ourselves. Student was not a data type which is defined earlier, like it is not integer, float, or character. So it is whatever we have written it. So that's why it is a user defined data type. And also the important point in class is that if you have to access anything, access outside class, if you have to access anything outside the class, it means it can be possible if you are putting them in public keyword. Like we have written your get and display, we have called. They were actually called why? Because we have defined them under public keyword, right? So these are the major takeaways when you can take the example of any encapsulation. Encapsulation is your class name, again your class data type, and it is a collection of different data types we have used in float and character. And it is a collection of data members or different data types, whatever we have written, and member functions. Your member functions are the functions which are to be done by student. I hope this video is useful for your basic knowledge of class. You might have done it already, but again, this is a very important for any interview questions. If they are asking that what is the data type of the object, you should know that it is a class name. So how memory is allocated to any object? If you declare any class, so whenever you declare an object, directly cannot be allocated. Even if we are just writing class and we don't declare an object, it means it is not allocated to the class. So class is actually a user defined data type which is defined by you only. And if you want to use anything outside the class, make sure you should write it in public keyword. Thank you very much. Kindly like, share and subscribe. Thank you.